On July 23, 2025, a profound silence fell across the Pacific as the world learned of the passing of George Brooks, Pacoso known to millions as Fiji, a man whose soulful voice and unwavering pride in his Fijian heritage made him a cultural icon. At just 55 years old, George's sudden death, announced by Polynesian music and confirmed by his family, left a void in the hearts of fans from Fiji to Hawaii and beyond, with tributes flooding X from users like at Homecoming Fiji, who called him the heartbeat of the Pacific, and at Fiji Times, describing him as a voice that carried our islands to the world. As the pioneer of island reggae, George blended Polynesian rhythms with reggae, R&B and jazz, creating a sound that was both universal and deeply rooted in his Telvu village upbringing. His music was more than entertainment, it was a movement, a celebration of Pacific identity, and a call for unity. From his humble beginnings to his Grammy-nominated career, George's life was a testament to resilience, faith, and the transformative power of music. Today, we dive deeply into George Picasso's cause of death, age, family, net worth, lifestyle, and biography to honor a man whose melodies continue to resonate across oceans and generations. George was born on May 10, 1970, in the rural village of Telvu, Fiji, where the rhythms of island life shaped his earliest memories. Raised in a modest home by his parents alongside his siblings, George grew up surrounded by the sounds of lolly drums and church, which became the foundation of his musical soul. His family was tight-knit, rooted in Fijian traditions, and music was a constant presence. His uncles Izarili Rakul, a musician who worked on Elvis Presley's drums of the islands, and Saki Bailikoko, a celebrated Fijian jazz artist, were his earliest mentors, teaching him guitar chords and the art of weaving stories into song. Family friend Paul Stevens, a local musician, gifted George his first guitar at 10, sparking a passion that would define his life. At 14, he earned $5 for his first paid performance at a village event, a moment he later described in a 2018 interview as the moment I knew music was my calling. His childhood wasn't without challenges. Fiji's economic struggles and limited opportunities meant he worked odd jobs from fishing to helping at his family's small farm, but his voice, clear and emotive, set him apart even then. In 1987, at 17, George's life took a dramatic turn when Fiji's political landscape was rocked by the coups d'etat, plunging the nation into uncertainty. Seeking safety and opportunity, his family sent him to Honolulu, Hawaii, a move that broke his heart but opened new doors. In Hawaii, George found a vibrant Polynesian community and adopted the stage name Fiji, a tribute to his homeland that he carried with pride. He joined the band Root Strata, recording tracks like Young Generation, where his harmonies shone, earning praise from local radio stations. By 1994, he released his debut album, Evolution, a soulful blend of reggae and R&B that introduced the world to hits like Leia and Sweet Darling. These songs, sung in English and Fijian, became anthems across the Pacific, played at weddings, barbecues, and in car stereos, as fans on X like at CEDOTA later shared, recalling how Leia was the soundtrack of their youth. 1998 wins at the NHIKE Hanahano Awards for Male Vocalist of the Year and Favorite Entertainer solidified his status as a Hawaiian music icon. But for George, it was always about representing Fiji. His music was a bridge between cultures, blending reggae's laid-back grooves with Polynesian storytelling and soulful R&B. His albums like Gratitude, Born and Raised, and Indigenous Life explored themes of love, identity, and resilience, resonating with Pacific Islanders and global audiences alike. His collaborations with reggae giants like Beers Hammond, Damian Jr., Gong Marley, and Morgan Heritage brought him international acclaim, while his work with Gladys Knight on a 2010 track showcased his versatility. His contribution to the Island Warriors compilation earned a Grammy nomination for Best Reggae Album, a milestone he called a dream for a kid from Telvu. In a 2015 podcast, by 2023, his catalog had amassed over 500 million streams. With songs like Lomai, Nikika, and Joanna becoming cultural touchstones, his 2023 single, Tell Me with Sammy Johnson, was a modern hit. Blending island reggae with contemporary beats, proving he could evolve while staying true to his roots. Fans on X, like at Malfunction 808, praised his ability to make you feel home no matter where you are. Beyond music, George was a cultural force. In 2003, he founded the Taco USO movement, a community initiative to combat gang violence among Pacific youth in Hawaii. Mentoring young artists and providing music workshops, his 2014 Best Pacific International Artist Award at the Pacific Music Awards and a 2021 Lifetime Achievement Award from the Island Music Awards honored his impact not just as a musician, but as a leader. He co-wrote and sang the Season 11 theme song, Let Me Be the One, with Glenn Medeiros for Baywatch, a nostalgic hit that played on radios across the U.S. His cameo in the 2002 film Blue Crush as a beach musician was a light-hearted moment, though he jokingly called it a one-take wonder in a 2016 interview. His 2024 Homecoming Fiji concert in Nadi's King Charles Park, featuring Ma Ju and Josh Tadafi, was a cultural triumph, drawing 20,000 fans and boosting Fiji's economy by $1 million. Deputy Prime Minister William Gavoka hailed it as a gift to our nation, unaware it would be George's final bow. Fans on X shared videos of him singing Sweet Darling, noting his emotional delivery despite using a wheelchair, a sign of the health struggles he kept private. George's personal life was a balance of joy and challenges. In the early 2000s, he faced a painful divorce from his first wife whose identity he protected, leaving him to raise his two children, a son and a daughter, as a single father for several years. He poured his heart into parenting, often bringing his kids to the studio where they'd fall asleep to his guitar strums. In the mid-2000s, he remarried a woman he described as his anchor in a 2014 interview, keeping her name private to shield their family from the spotlight. His children, now adults, followed their own paths, his son pursuing music, his daughter working in community outreach in Honolulu. George's devotion to family was unwavering, and he often spoke of his parents and siblings in Fiji, visiting Telvu annually to reconnect with his roots. His uncle's influence remained a guiding light, and he honored them by producing a 2019 tribute album to Fijian jazz, featuring young artists he mentored. His faith, rooted in his Christian upbringing, is a cornerstone with regular church attendance and gospel influences in songs like Nadrelale from Indigenous Life. George's lifestyle was a reflection of his island roots and global reach. With an estimated net worth of $3 million to $5 million earned through album sales, tours, production work, and the Homecoming Fiji Festival, he lived comfortably but humbly. His Honolulu home, a cozy haven filled with Fijian tapa cloths, family photos, and a small recording studio, was where he hosted jam sessions with artists like Kalohi Kai and Jay Boog. He also owned a modest home in Fiji, where he spent summers fishing and teaching his children traditional Fijian dances. Known for his love of the ocean, George was often seen casting lines off Oahu's North Shore, sharing stories with friends like Catchafire's Logan Bell, who recalled his laughter like a warm wave. In a 2025 tribute, his faith sustained him through personal battles, including a struggle with alcohol in his 20s, which he overcame through sobriety by his 30s, crediting his church community. He loved cooking Fijian dishes like kokota and lovo, often gifting meals to neighbors and gesture fans on X called Pure Aloha. His pickup truck, adorned with a Fijian flag sticker, was a nod to his village days even as he performed on global stages. Health concerns emerged in 2021 when fans noticed George using a wheelchair at performances, sparking speculation about a neurological condition. He remained silent on the issue, focusing on his music and family, though sources close to him hinted at a progressive illness. On July 23, 2025, George passed away in Fiji, surrounded by his wife, children, and extended family. No official cause of death was released, but reports suggested a sudden illness, possibly linked to his earlier mobility issues, with some speculating a neurological disorder. His family requested privacy, asking fans to celebrate his life through his music. Tributes poured in from across the Pacific. Jay Boog called him my brother, my teacher, while Labour Party Deputy Leader Carmel Sepulon described him as the soul of Pacifica music. Fans on X like Dylan and Chetta shared clips of his final Homecoming Fiji performance where he sang Leia with tears in his eyes, a moment one user called a goodbye we didn't know we were hearing. Radio stations in Fiji, Hawaii, and New Zealand played his music for days, honoring a man who united cultures. George Vicasso's life was a melody of love, struggle, and triumph. From a $5 gig in Telvu to headlining festivals, he carried Fiji's spirit in every note, blending reggae's heartbeat with Polynesian pride. His taco movement gave hope to youth, while his mentorship of artists like Maju and Sammy Johnson built a legacy of community. His love for his wife, children, and extended family grounded him, as did his faith, which shone through in his music and his quiet acts of kindness. The pain of his early departure is softened by the joy he left behind, songs like Sweet Darling and Lomai ni Kika, that will forever echo in Pacific homes. As he said in a 2023 interview, "Music is my healer, my way to give back." His voice, warm and timeless, remains a beacon of aloha and vanua. If George's story of faith, resilience, and unity has stirred your soul, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Let's keep his music alive, honoring a man who sang for the Pacific and beyond. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of George Fiji Vikoso. Till next time, keep singing, keep loving, and keep his spirit close. Mosmata Fiji.